Oh my god. Hi, Queen. Hey everyone, it is Destiny Cecile. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a very highly requested video, which is my experience being on the Disney College program. I talk about the Disney College program a lot. I really hyped it up, especially when it came to like Disney on the Yard, HBCU students and stuff like that. So I wanted to make a video on my experience. I did the Disney College program last year, spring of 2023. There was ups and downs. There's obviously going to be ups and downs in everything, and in this video I kind of wanted to break down my experience from the application process all the way to post DCP and my future plans. So this might be a pretty lengthy video. I'm gonna try to explain everything to the best of my ability. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, you can leave it in the comments. And also a huge disclaimer that this is just my experience. I can't speak for anybody else. I can't say you're gonna go through the things that I went through. I can't speak for you. My experience shouldn't be your decision on whether you should do the program or not, is what I'm trying to say. But I did want to kind of help you guys out because I feel like there's not much videos on YouTube, especially of a Black girl kind of talking about the Disney College program. So if I am looking down, I am looking down at my iPad. I took a whole bunch of notes because I didn't want to miss anything. And yeah. Also, it is currently January 22nd and applications for the Disney College program open, and I'm going to post this video today so y'all can like watch this video, or if you guys need, you know, if you're anxious, you know, I know when you're applying for things you kind of want all the information, and I know Disney doesn't really kind of explain much, so I wanted to get this video out today. Application process. So I applied in September of 2022. I was literally fresh into college, like a few weeks into college, and I saw that my college career page had posted about it, and I was like, yeah, I want to do it. I wanted to do since I was really young. I've always wanted to be a cast member. I grew up with Disneyland, and I knew some people that did the Disneyland college program. So I kind of had some insight about it, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I attended my school's like little Zoom meeting about it, and I actually was the only person there, but the recruiters were nice enough to continue on the Zoom, and they kind of spoke to me about it, and it was more individual. After we ended the Zoom conversation with them, I went ahead and I applied for the spring program. I didn't watch any videos. I just literally went in and I did it, and that's something I would recommend you not doing. I ended up doing it. I filled out the general information, like the resume part. Then I went to the web interview. I took the web interview, and I'm not sure they give out the web interview anymore. I think now it's just phone interviews because I applied for spring 2024. I actually got in. I applied for spring 2024, and it was just the phone interview. So I don't think they do the web interview. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the web interview basically asks you a series of questions, and it would be like, do you strongly agree, strongly disagree, neutral, stuff like that. Now, I was being too honest. I kept pressing like that neutral button or just the agree. When it comes to things like this, you want to click the strongly agree and the strongly disagree. Those should be your only two buttons. You shouldn't be clicking anything in the middle. So this was kind of an automatic thing. So it's either you passed or you failed, and it told you. So when I had ended, it told me that I basically had failed it, and they wouldn't be continuing on with my process. I was really sad, but I knew I had just got into college, and I didn't really have high expectations because, you know, I'm new into this whole college thing. So I just took it, and I ended up emailing the recruiters that I had the meeting with, and I told them like, thank you so much for this opportunity, but unfortunately I did not pass the web interview. So a few days go by, and I get an email from one of the recruiters, and he told me that he opened it back up for me. And they don't do that. Like, he was like, I want you to do it again. I want you to take it again. I want you to think about your answers, and I want you to take it in. Now, I knew at this moment that, okay, this is something God wants me to do. And the only reason why I say that is because like I literally failed it. You know what I'm saying? And I reached out to him just to thank him, and he let me do it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I watched YouTube videos, I asked questions, and that's when I learned the only two buttons you should be using are the strongly agree and the strongly disagree. So I did that and I ended up passing. After I ended up passing, about 2 days later, I got my acceptance. And of course, I said yes on the spot. I paid a deposit. The deposit was expensive. It was like $400. Yeah, the deposit was some money. And that deposit basically goes towards like your, I think it's like an admission fee and also your house payment for the first week. Because the first week you get there, you don't go to work, so you don't get paid. So that's basically what it is. And you have to owe it within like, I want to say 2 weeks, but you can work it out with them if you don't have the money at the time. But I do believe Disney on the Yard is way cheaper, like their amount. I think my friend said it was like around 100. Don't quote me, but I paid like $400. It was ridiculous. And I don't know how much it would, because I got into the spring of 2024, but I actually declined that offer because I want to do the Summer Alumni program, because the Summer Alumni program dates work better for me. So I don't know how much it'll be, but yeah, I paid a lengthy amount of money, but I really wanted to do it. It was something I really wanted to do, so I just paid the money. I had to choose my dates. I was still fresh in college and I didn't want to leave a semester early or anything like that, so I chose the last date that a spring arrival could come, which is April 24th. And luckily for me, my school actually ends in April. We end school really early here at Del State, so I left like finals week, which was fine. And then I just finished school online from that point. And then, yeah, so April 24th was my date. It was April 24th to August 24th. That's the dates that I ended up choosing. That also gave me a lot of time to save money. And I think that's a really big thing, that a really big tip that I would give you guys is, if you're doing the program, try to choose a date that's kind of further so you have time to save your money. Unless you got coin like that, it's really recommended for you to just like save that coin before going there. So I ended up getting my email about housing. So housing, you can rank. You can choose between 4-bedroom, 4-bath, your own room, your own bathroom, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, your own room, shared bathroom, and 2-bedroom, 2-bath, shared room, shared bathroom. I wanted a 4x4 because it was a new environment. I didn't really know people out there, so I chose the safe way and I did 4x4. It is not guaranteed. They actually don't have a lot of 4x4s. If you have a medical accommodation, you could get one. I had a medical accommodation, that's why I got mine. But they do take account into medical accommodations, but you really have to be on top of your medical accommodations, by the way. So I ended up getting my 4x4, and then I got my location, which was Merchandise Magic Kingdom in Tomorrowland. I was really happy because I had experience being in merchandise, and also I wanted to be in Magic Kingdom to see the fireworks every day. So everything, that was like a win-win situation for me. So come April 24th, I ended up flying April 24th with my sister. It wasn't really planned for her to come. I honestly was gonna go by myself, and I do not recommend you going by yourself. Make sure you go with at least one person to help you move in, because it's literally like a college move-in all over again. You have to go out, shop for your things, and especially if you're flying in too. If you're driving, then that could be a little different, I'm not sure. But if you're flying in, you want to have somebody with you. My sister was only there for a day, but she really helped. We had a rental car, we went to go to the stores, and we bought a whole bunch of things for the room. So it really helped in my case. I would just recommend it because Flamingo, like the staff, they're gonna help you, but there's so many other people moving in that day too, and you want to make sure that you arrive early to get that cart. So when arrival day came, everything went pretty smoothly. I got there, took my picture for my Blue ID. You take your picture when you get there. You go to onboarding, and then you just have like the rest of the day to buy like your groceries and everything like that. I met my roommates, and everything was pretty cool at that point. The weather was bad though. Like I think in the morning, it was really hot. Like for the morning time, it was ridiculous. Like for real. My first reaction getting off the plane in Florida and like walking out, I'm like, yo. And then later that day, it just started pouring down rain. Like just out of nowhere, out of the blue. That's Florida for you. And so my arrival day went pretty smoothly, and then that entire week we had off to kind of just relax, go to the springs, do whatever you wanted to do, get to know people. So yeah, your first week you get there, you have that week off. And I heard now, actually, I think it's true. I heard now that first week they give you passes to go to the parks, 3-day passes. We didn't have that. We had to wait for our main gate, which took like 2 weeks. But now I heard they give out passes, so that first week you could actually be in the parks, which I think that's really cool if you ask me. So yeah. My roommates. I didn't have much problems with my roommates. They were all really nice girls. But I would say it's because we had a 4x4. Like, I could see there being more stories if we had like shared spaces, but all we had really was the kitchen and living room. And like, honestly, I was blessed with my roommates. I think they were really cool people. Honestly, there was like little issues, but honestly, when you're living with somebody, you're gonna have issues regardless. So to each their own. You know, they do have an option where you can choose your roommates, but everything was pretty chill for the most part. Training, also known as earning my ears. Now, training was a lot of stress, but I'm glad that they do that with training because it actually prepares you on what you're going to do. So training, I took a tour of Magic Kingdom. So you'll take a tour of your location. So say if you work in Disney Springs, you'll take a tour of Disney Springs. If you work in Epcot, you'll take a tour of Epcot. The entire park, you're walking the entire park. It was really hot that day. We weren't allowed to have our phones. Got to take a tour of the tunnels, backstage, things like that. Yeah, training was a lot though, because we had to get our costumes. It was a lot, but I'm glad we did it. And training was the like only time, except for the end of my CP, because the CP seniority towards the end is where you get like your morning shifts. So my training was the only time that I really had morning shifts, and then towards the end of my CP I also had morning shifts. But for the most of my CP I actually had like a stable schedule. I would always have Monday, Tuesday off. That was just luck. I always had Monday, Tuesday off. But my schedules would kind of be like 3 to 9 or 4 to 10, 5 to 11. And those after hours, there's this one time I went in at 7, guys. I went in at 7 to 2. It was it 7 to 2? Yeah, so enjoyed my 3 to 9s sometimes. I enjoyed my 3 to 9s and my 2 to 8s. A 2 to 8? Yeah, because being home before the fireworks was such a flex. Like, Magic Kingdom people, y'all know, being home before the fireworks start or leaving work before the fireworks. Yeah, girl, that was an early shift, girl. My workplace. I think my workplace was pretty chill. Like I said, I feel like a lot of the things I had were just blessings, honestly, because I've heard a lot of stories, but my workplace was really chill. It really depends on your workplace. I was Tomorrowland Merchandise. We're a really chill location. Like, you can't compare me to someone who works at the Emporium, which is a very busy store. I loved picking up at the Emporium. It was such a vibe. Their costume is beautiful. I got to look pretty and wear my ears. Tomorrowland costume is not that girl. Just not that girl. But I made her look cute because I accessorized. Tomorrowland was pretty chill, honestly. Everything was fine. Oh, the Tron Identity Program. I could tell you about the Tron Identity Program in 1 minute and what it does. It's not a fitting room. It's not a restroom. Straight up. So I go to a HBCU. When I had applied for the Disney College program, that was way before Disney on the Yard applications opened. They opened February. I had applied in September. So when Disney on the Yard came out, I also applied for Disney on the Yard. I got a phone call from Disney saying, we can't necessarily put you in Disney in the Yard because you're already in a program that runs during Disney on the Yard. So since you go to a HBCU, we'll place you in all of their activities, but you have to keep the dates. Meaning I was technically like, I don't know. I like to say I was in both, but honestly, like, girl, I was on Disney on the Yard, girl. Like, Um, so when they arrived, I was super happy. Like, I was super happy when they arrived. Because it was 2 weeks and I was kind of alone-ish by myself. And then when the HBCU students showed up, it was really lit. So if you didn't know, Disney on the Yard is the Disney College program. They're doing everything the Disney College program people do, specific things that Disney on the Yard does that the normal Disney College program doesn't do, such as like having Black people that work for Disney come and talk to us, give them their experiences, and we have like different classes. We also get mentors, and my mentor, he was pretty lit. Like, we went to tour the Disney offices, and yeah, it was really beneficial, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. It was very beneficial. Literally the second they came, like, you could tell the whole vibe of Flamingo was completely different. Like, the second they came, it was like packed. Like, everyone was playing volleyball, people were playing cards. It was so much fun. Disney on the Yard, I do say I wish they had a little more event wise, but the events that we did have were very informational. So hopefully this year they kind of switch it up, but it was great. It was a great experience. Will say I didn't feel any type of exclusion. I didn't feel, and this is my own experience, I cannot speak for the next person when I say this, but coming from California, I'm used to being in a very diverse environment. Obviously, coming from my HBCU and going there, of course, you're going to have a culture shock, of course. But I'm used to that kind of environment. So, and like I said, I was blessed with the people around me. I didn't have those type of people that made me feel like an outsider or made me feel different because I was a Black girl. Honestly, if anything, I got more compliments than ever. And it's really sad to say, but I felt like I could be more myself there than at my HBCU. Not saying I can't be myself at my HBCU, but I feel like I could express myself more there. So if that makes any sense. But I will say I have heard things, and that's just to each their own. Personally, if you feel any type of way while you're there, if you feel like you're being discriminated or whatever the case is, make sure you let them know, because Disney does not play that. Like, they will handle it. But I know within the Disney bubble, I felt safe being a Black girl. I didn't have no problem with it. But that's just my personal experience, honestly. And I did go around the time with On the Yard as well. I can't speak for a Black girl who goes during like the fall. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be a very different experience because I felt more safe around my On the Yard friends, obviously, just because we're all around that HBCU environment. But that's not to say I wasn't safe with my other friends as well. So it's just really to each their own. Here goes my reprimand story. Now, I want to talk about it. I did end up getting a reprimand on my program. Unfortunately, a reprimand, I think you get 3 and then you're fired. I had gotten 1, and I do take full responsibility for my reprimand, and I feel like I could have just been a little smarter. Honestly, I could have just gave away my shifts, but I just kept calling out because I was really, really sick. There was a sickness going around in Tomorrowland. I don't know, we just called it the Tomorrowland sickness. It was gross. I couldn't talk. Like, I legit couldn't talk. It felt like there was something in my throat. It was horrible. And I just kept calling out, and I didn't know it was actually adding up. And then I just ended up getting a reprimand, but I honestly should have just gave away my shifts. So I did end up getting that. It really did take a toll on me. I thought my life was over. And then my leaders were like, listen, when we did the Disney College program, we also got a reprimand. So as long as you're not pushing 2 or 3, you're fine. But I literally thought my life was over when I got it. I thought my life was over. For real. I thought my life was over. Like, not gonna lie. Don't get one. But after that, I was on my stuff, like, because I think a little bit after the reprimand, CPs are now allowed to like switch their shifts and give away their shifts without leader approval, I think. Or you could do it on the app or something like that. So after that, I was chilling. And after I knew I could give away shifts, because after I got sick, my parents ended up coming on vacation. When my parents came on vacation, I just gave away all my shifts, like, honestly, and I didn't get in trouble for it. So yeah, if you're sick or feeling any type of way, just give away your shifts. Don't call out. Don't call out. My parents did come and they visited me. We got the hotel for like 50% off, and then they came to the parks for free because I had my tickets. And it was a great time. My parents really enjoyed themselves. And then after they left, I ended up getting really homesick because they left and then July hit. When July hit, I was super homesick. I feel like everything was getting to me, and I just kind of felt like really overwhelmed. Like after I got sick, I got like really overwhelmed. I was just thinking about going home, and I just kept overthinking like, oh my God, school starts next month. I'm gonna go home for a weekend for my sister's wedding and I gotta go back to school. Like I just kept thinking, and I was like, maybe I should go home on August 3rd because Disney on the Yard, they left August 3rd. My program was until August 24th. I'm like, yo, maybe I should, ask to leave early. I honestly just ended up finishing my program. Like even though it sucks and I was really homesick, I just stuck it through. I was praying, and really honestly I was just having a hard time, but I just started praying. Like honestly, I just started like, you know what I'm saying, like I asked God to guide me, and God wanted me to stay. What can I say? The end of my program. So towards the end, this is like mid-July, everyone's starting to pack, everyone's starting to leave. That's when it hit me. I was like, I don't want to go home. That's when it hit me. I was like, no, I want to stay. Like I started thinking about it, and I would cry all the time because I'm like, I was just complaining about this, but now that I see all my friends are packing up, everybody's leaving, like, can we all stay? And it was really hitting me because Disney on the Yard, the college program, it changes every year. It's not like I'm coming back to my college and I'll see them again next year. It's going to be a different group every year. Some people come back, some people don't. Actually, most of the people in my group are coming back, so I'm actually really excited. But it's not going to be the same environment. So it started hitting me like my life is over. Like, if you're a CP, towards the end of your CP, you start feeling like you're like dying. You're like, no, like, girl, I'm not trying to leave. So then it started to hit me, and I just felt really depressed, and I literally was crying. And I look back at it and I really wish I extended, like, because the semester I had after that, like, girl, you should stay there, girl. Like, honestly, I had a really bad first semester back, and I do think being in the CP was part of the reason why. But I wish I would have extended my program. That's why I tell people now, like, if I extend my program, the one that I'm going to, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if I stay there till January. Don't, because I was thinking on staying there till October. It's just my sister ended up her wedding, and I just didn't want to do all that. So I was like, you know what, I'll just go. But like, I did want to stay till October, which was until midterms. I wanted to do like the first half of schooling or whatever. I wanted to do that online, and then my second half come back. I really wish I would have done that because I didn't even have a good semester, and it literally pisses me off when I think about it. But it's fine. God's plan, like I said, it's always gonna be God's plan, and I just followed what He told me to do. So like I said, I started to get really, really sad. I went to Mickey's Not So Scary with a couple of my friends. I had a great time. That was on August 11th. And then after that, it was just packing. And I was devastated. Like, I was devastated. I'm not gonna lie. I was real sad. Like, I was trying to fake it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm out of here. No, bro. The second that plane took off, I was crying. I was crying on the plane, the whole entire plane ride back. It was like a 2-hour plane ride. I cried the entire plane ride. I just cried. Yeah. It doesn't hit you to the end. You're like, dang, like, this is never gonna happen again. It's not the same group of people. It's never gonna happen again. So, it just hit me. It hit me really hard. And also, looking back at it, I really do wish that after my CP, I went home to California for at least a good 2 weeks or 3 weeks and actually had a summer vacation, or actually did something back at home with my friends, because that sent me. Because I went home for 1 weekend. My sister had got married. I'm the maid of honor. I'm doing everything. I'm tussling. I'm ruggling. I could have went to Disneyland for free that weekend because I was still technically like a cast member. It was literally the weekend after. Like, and I couldn't even go because we have this giant wedding. So I, you know, being a maid of honor. Post-DCP depression is so real. People used to talk about it all the time, and I feel like it needs to be spoken about more. Now, this goes for people who actually enjoyed their program, because some people were just happy to leave. Me, I was happy until I wasn't. So hard. When I went from Florida, Disney World, every day. Like every day. I could go to the parks whenever I felt like it. My own money, my own independence, my own apartment. Everything. Back to Dover, Delaware. I was depressed. I literally, last semester when I first got to school, I was first of all, I was grumpy. I was upset. I was so mad. Everything just sent me. I was living the life. And I'm going back because I was living the life. And this is not the life. As much as I love my school, Disney's better. Hands down. I want to stay with the company as of right now. I want to do a Summer Alumni program. Hopefully if they bring it back, I don't know. They have not announced it, and it is January 22nd. So hopefully they bring that back. I do want to stay with the company. I want to do like a actual real professional internship as well, and hopefully I get really far with them because I love Disney and the program just made me love it even more. Yo, this is my experience. I cannot say that your experience is gonna go this way. It is what it is, honestly, girl. If you guys enjoyed this video of me explaining my entire experience on the Disney College program, applications are open, so go ahead and apply and let me know if you did, because queen. You know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.